every day.
Well, you know, it used to be considered derogatory, but now some women are proud to call themselves Cougars. It's a phenomenon that's now all over the social landscape, from entire websites to, of course, the primetime sitcom.
Right.
Right?
Courtney Cox. Older women dating much younger men is gaining more acceptance. And with that, our own Fox's Tammy Vigil tells us doctors who help women turn back the clock are turning up big business right here in the Mile High City.
I am not embarrassed about my lifestyle.
At bars filled with 20 and 30-somethings, more and more women in their 40s are in their element. Caroline Mankey, age 44, is a self-proclaimed cougar. Not that kind, but the kind of woman at least 35 years old who dates men at least 8 years younger.
First time I heard it, or at least the first time I heard it applied to me, I was offended. I think I got an email from some really young guy on Match.com or one of the dating sites. He was in his 20s and he said something about how does it feel to be a cougar? And I thought, I'm not a cougar. What makes you think I'm a cougar? And who says I'm interested in you anyway?
Mankey has dated men 18 years younger. She says it's almost by default, since that's who's single.
He had taped to the mirror a printout of his body fat or something like that, some body fat measurements. And I noticed that it said male, age 26. And I just thought, oh, that's young. I could be his mother.
Mankey has come to Colorado straight from an Italian trip with a younger boyfriend.
He's a base jumper, so that means he jumps off cliffs with a parachute.
So now Mankey is jumping into a fountain of youth at Bot Evolve in Lone Tree, which is doing increasing work on cougars, who generally battle lost skin elasticity and shrinking facial fat.
The breast area is the same way. Drooping, loss of volume, loss of superior fullness. Those are issues that our cougars want to improve on.
Gone is the day where only men could date younger women, which has, been around for the last half century. I think women, as they join the workforce and become more empowered, are realizing that they have as many options and they're not going to be limited by social stigma.
Stigma is falling way to acceptance.
I date guys my own age, but they're all out dating younger girls.
Thanks in part to television shows.
As much as I know that there's a 20-year age difference, I've got the cougar.
Websites.
Hi, I'm Lucia, your cougar expert for CougarChannel.com, discussing the popularity and trends in dating younger men.
National conventions.
Greetings from Palo Alto, where we are at the Cougar Convention.
And high-profile cougars helping take the bite out of intergenerational relationships.
Hands on your waist.
Relationships that have loud and proud Cougar Mankey getting ready for her close-up. Photos document her now body.
Ab muscles all the way up.
Which plastic surgeons will alter to erase the ravages of time.
I'm actually going to lower her waistline to this black right here. I'm going to lower her waistline about 3 centimeters, and it'll make her look taller. It's an optical illusion, but it works real well.
Doctors mark where they will pull out her waist and carve out a six-pack.
Okay.
They use ultrasonic waves to dissolve fat from Mankey's backside, then her abdomen.
Going to turn the fat into a big smoothie.
They collect 3 to 4 pounds of fat to be injected later into her breasts.
The fat that we've harvested looks pretty good.
About 4 hours later, the doctor's work is done. Mankey will soon be ready to resume her hunt.
Like a fine wine, aging, aging well, getting better with age.
And weeks later, Mrs. Robinson never looked so good. Tammy Vigil, Fox 31 News.
Wow. Put your eyes back in your head, Frazier. Jeez Louise.
Wow.
You're a married man. Now, that's a hot cougar, for sure. Doctors Millard and Broadway joining us here in studio to talk more about the cougar phenomenon and the business they're getting in light of it. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, Dr. Dave, Dr. John. Let me ask you guys quickly. In the story that Tammy did, Courtney Cox said that, the cougar women, she says, I would date men my own age, but they're dating younger women. So the goal here, as I guess for these women, is to make themselves appealable to younger men. I mean, is that the bottom line? Is that what's pushing this trend?
It is. I think that you're seeing it in the workplace. Women are CEOs, they're lawyers, they're really, 45 years ago, these are the same women that were home raising kids, pending becoming grandmothers.
Right.
And now they're out in the workplace competing, not just professionally, but really in the social market as well, social network.
Let's talk about, you know, what can be done. There's always the fear you start and you get too much done. Or, you know, a woman who's in her 40s, maybe heading toward 50, we saw some lipo in there. What is the basic, sort of the entry-level stuff that you would recommend to a woman to sort of get them cougar ready?
It really depends on their problems. A lot of these ladies are moms, and they've lost volume in their breasts, or they don't have the firmness that they were hoping to have, or they used to have. They have a little bit of a protuberant tummy, and so the mommy makeover we hear about is really addressing the stomach and the breast. That's the most common complaint.
I was going to say, is it ever just one procedure, or is it always more than one?
I think it's very individual. It can be one procedure, but sometimes it's a multitude of different things.
Okay. Somebody goes in, they have a procedure done for the first time, they've never had one before, they come out, they're completely happy. Do they then start to look at themselves and say, oh, you guys did good, I'm thinking about a little something here, a little something there? Absolutely. Is that what happens?
Yeah, I think we open up Pandora's box sometimes. You get their bodies back that they had prior to having kids, in women's case, and in men. Even men, 50% of our practice is men. They're having body changes as they go through their midlife, but particularly women with their kids and what the kids do to their bodies. They can require, as Dr. Broadway stated, a breast work. They can require lipo work for contouring, and we actually taken it to the next level in our practice. We not only can provide that, but we'll augment, say, for example, the breast augmentation with sculpting of the breast to get a high definition result, as we did with this young lady, high def breast, or use augmented fat to augment the breast in this case.
High def, HD's everywhere these days.
HD's everywhere. Let's talk quickly too. I know if a woman's considering this, or a guy's considering it too, almost all of this, am I right in saying, would not be covered under insurance? So this is something you'd have to kind of save for, plan for, and ballpark, are we talking, what, $2 to $8 grand?
That's a good starting point. It can go up to $20,000, just depending on the amount of time it's going to require in the OR. That's really what it comes
And how many
down
procedures
to.
are going to have, yeah.
And how many procedures. And Tammy pointed out her story. The reason for the story was it's driving up business for you guys. So how is business today to, say, 10 or 20 years ago when plastic surgery wasn't just so commonplace?
Well, we've been very fortunate. In the last couple of years with the economy as it is, it has been a downward trend. But John and I, with some of the new procedures that we offer, both of our practices have done very well, and we're very thankful for that.
And is it more socially acceptable now?
I think so.
You do?
I think so, yeah, absolutely.
On that note, I mean, we only have a couple of seconds, but where would you begin with Dave Frazier?
And I already told him beforehand, I don't want to end like this. But you said
I'm sure
50%.
Dave already has a six-pack, so.
Oh, see?
Yeah, more like a
But
pony
you said
cake.
really 50% of men come in, just to quickly touch on the men, what is it that the men are coming in for?
Well, the men are coming in for high-def abs. We pioneered that here at our center at Body Evolve, high-def ab, augmenting the pecs with fat and giving men that six-pack look, the augmented biceps, the sculpted biceps, sculpted triceps. They want to look like the 20-year-olds in the gym.
What's your secretary's number? Hey, thanks, guys, for coming in. Appreciate it. It is a growing trend.
Good to see you both.
Understand. Stay right there.
Holidays.
All right, hey.